Whoa!
Good afternoon.
I heard you might know something about the band of poachers hiding out in the woods. A band led by some Mach of Marshevitz. Ginger-headed.
What? Who told you such a thing?
Dobrosh, the huntsman. He sent me to track them down and get rid of them.
I see. It's about the white roebuck. I'm surprised somebody didn't shoot it long time ago. Such a hide would fetch a king's ransom.
Do you know where their hideout is?
Maybe. What's in it for me?
What do you mean, what's in it for you? You should think of your own good. If you help me with my search, it'll be clear you had nothing to do with the poaching. But if you don't, then the Lord of Piset could put a bounty on your head next.
Curva. I didn't think of that. All right. I'll tell you what I know. I heard they're brothers. And they're led by that Mach fella. But they didn't look like kin to me. They surely ain't no livers, though. They're pretty frightening looking. Maybe that's why Dobrosh would rather sit his arse in a castle instead of searching for them in the woods.
Do you know where they're hiding?
I ain't sure. But it's definitely somewhere in the valley near the water. In the direction of Rabush. That's where they always came from. And if I was a poacher, that's where I'd be hiding.
All right. That'll help my search.
Listen, lad. I know you said you were doing this for Dobrosh, but if you find that white hide at your camp and bring it to me, I'll pay you more than that pinch purse of a huntsman. I know some people, and I'd be able to sell that thing for, well, a lot.
Perhaps. I'll see if I have any luck finding it.
Sure. But if you do, bring it back to me. Farewell, sir.
Whoa, whoa. Go! Quick! Whoa! Whoa! Those must be the poachers I'm looking for.
Nice try, you whoreson! Alert! Alert! Hey, take it from the side! What do you want? Go fuck yourself!
That's the hide. Now to bring it back to the huntsman, or to Wolfram.
Go! Quick!
Whoa, whoa. Easy, easy. Nice and slow. Whoa, whoa.
Good evening. What do you...
I found the white hide.
Oh, thank God for that, at least. And what about the poachers? Did you take care of them too? Do you have their squirrel badges for me?
Aye, I've got some.
Well, that's even better news. The reward's yours. Thanks, friend. You did me a huge service.
When I talked to the knacker, he urged me to sell him the hide.
I might have known. It's good you didn't listen to him.
What are you going to do about him?
Unfortunately, wanting to get your hands on something isn't a crime. And such talk from Wolfram is no surprise. But I'll keep my eye on him. Thanks for telling me. You're an honest fella.
Glad to help.
Take care, friend.
How could I have forgotten about him? Hey.
So this is where Istvan landed. I hope it hurt, you bastard. To remember you by. Whoa!
Praise be Jesus Christ, young man. I'm sorry to bother you, but I must stop you for a moment. Can I have a word?
Who are you, anyway? What do you want?
I am a royal customs collector, and you will have to pay your duty.
What duty?
The king's duty. Now come here and don't delay. So, what'll it be? What are you still waiting for? Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Matthew, the king's chief customs collector. I collect dues on trading routes.
Ah, I've been looking for you.
Is that so? Why would that be?
The Dry Devil sent me.
That old bastard is still alive. I thought he'd been executed a long time ago.
He's free again, thanks to us. He's getting his old band together, so they sent me looking for you.
That's so very sweet of him. So he whistles and I should come running to him like a good boy.
So, you don't want to come back then?
For the record, I have nothing against the devil. But I don't want to stick my neck out for fuck all anymore. I'm doing well for myself as my own master. The past is past.
Don't you miss the Devil's Pack? Kubienka is still talking about the old days.
I like to think of them sometimes too, but I don't miss them. None of them really know why they're with the devil anyway. Most of them just don't have anything else to do. If the devil reigned, they would just drink themselves to death or kill each other. At least I know what I want.
And you're content with robbing poor souls by the road?
Ah, you are quite wrong there. I'm a customs collector, and it's still better than being with the devil.
The Devil and Zizka have a higher purpose. We fight for our rightful king.
How? Like capturing nobles and them demanding money for their release? We gutted their people, and they gutted us, but only the devil got the money and the glory. What the fuck is noble about that?
Maybe you're right.
How'd you get involved with the devil anyway? Didn't it occur to you that you could be more than his human shield?
It's complicated.
No brat has ever said, when I grow up, I want to be a mean old bastard's dog's body. But somehow, a whole bunch of us ended up being just that. One lost cause after another. What led you to the devil?
I'm looking for the people who murdered my family. Someone like the Devil could help me with that.
In that case, he's your man. He has a long arm. Many are afraid of him. Rightly so.
So you're not rejoining the Devil? That's your final word?
Aye.
I'll let him know.
Well, maybe not the very last word. Since you're already here, did you pay the duty?
What are you talking about? What duty?
What do you think? To the king! I am His Majesty's Chief Customs Collector.
Aye, and I'm Emperor Charles.
So where's the payment? A royal customs collector's time is precious.
What customs collector? You're just a bandit.
Peace all difference. Those who have, give. Those who don't, take. Cough up!
The Devil's counting on me to find and reunite all of his old band.
Why should I care?
What do you think he's gonna do when he finds out his capture was all a setup?
Set up? What are you blabbering about?
Well, I'll just tell him there was a rat in his band that set him up. And I know who it was.
You bastard. No wonder you and the devil are like brothers.
Are we finally on the same page?
Aye. It's bad enough I'm being hunted by the Miskovitz bailiff and the Sukdal captain. There's even a bounty on my head. I don't need a pissed off devil coming after me too.
You don't say.
Seriously? I'm a bit of a local legend now.
Well, the main route to Kuttenberg runs between Miskovitz and Suchdol. Stealing from traders has made you rich, hasn't it?
More than you could imagine. Their pockets are either full of silver or their wagons are bursting with goods. Kuttenberg is a wealthy town, and the merchants are flocking there like flies to shit. You can learn a thing or two that way. If you want, I can share some of my knowledge with you.
How can I find you?
Our camp is in the woods on the hill by Visuka. It will probably take you a while to find it first. We don't like uninvited visitors, you see.
You said you were going to tell me more about the Devil's former band.
Hooray! You looked like you were going to do it right away, but then disappeared off the face of the earth. Anyway, only a few fellas out of the whole glorious pack survived the shitstorm, and it's not certain they are still alive. As far as I know, Matthew, Bahuta, Raniak, Janos, and Eder survived. I only know where to find Bahuta. And maybe Matthew. But who knows?
I already found Matthew. We can forget about him.
Why?
It seems he's taken a liking to robbing, and has his own band now. They tried to get me too.
Oh, I told you he was a fucker. Too bad. He could have come in handy. He was good at his trade.
Tell me about Bahuta first. Who is he anyway?
Well, Bahuta, he was always in trouble. Angry as a dog and covered in bruises. He and his brother could drink all the beer in the inn. Just the two of them. Then they would make a terrible ruckus.
It sounds like you three would get along well. But you said his brother was dead.
Yes, he died right before Bahuta's eyes. Not pretty. Bahuta has been acting weird ever since. He dropped everything overnight and turned to prayer. As if he was scared of being next in line.
Where can I find Bahuta?
At the rectory in Grunt. He helps out with the church.
Did you ever see him again after they caught the devil?
Yeah. But there was no reasoning with him.
Do you think it'll be different now?
Look, I don't know. Maybe when he hears the devil's back, he will come to his senses. But I doubt it.
I'll go over there and try to talk him into it. There's no harm in trying.
But be careful. Bahuta was never far from giving someone a beating. Maybe he's still got that in him. It was Slavik who kept him from ending up on the gallows because of a fight. Oh, but he's already with the Lord.
What about the rest of the band? You mentioned more than one person.
Of course. That leaves Janos, Eder, and Raniak. I don't know where they are, but I can tell you about them.
Who is this Adder? What kind of nickname is that, anyway?
Oh, that's easy. He's called Eder because he can't keep his snake in his breeches. He's Polish. He does not speak our tongue, so only Janos can speak to him, really. But otherwise, he's a fucking hilarious. And when shit gets tough, he can really handle it.
Do you know where he could be?
I have no idea. But if you find Janos, Eder will be nearby. The two of them are practically inseparable.
How am I supposed to communicate with Adder? I don't speak a word of Polish.
Yes, you do. We all say kurwa. You must use your hands and feet for the rest. I always manage, and so will you.
Tell me more about this Raniak.
Raniak has a great aim. Slightly better than me, even. Oh, and that bow of his, I tell ya, is a masterpiece. That is how you will know it is him.
How did he get that bow?
How do you think? He won it playing dice. But that was the first and last time he ever won anything. If anyone is really unlucky, it is him. But he would not stop if you were to cut off his hands.
Do you have any idea how I could find him?
Oh, I don't know anything about him. Try asking around at inns where they play dice. It is possible he lost his hose in one of them.
Did you ever see him again after the devil was captured?
Oh, just once. He wanted me to lend him money. He did not have any to bet with. But I was skinned and looking for a way to get the devil out of jail. Either way, I told him to fuck off, and he listened to me.
Tell me about this Janos.
Janos? He's from Hungary. He speaks like a Tatar, but at least you can understand him a little, unlike Ada.
And how did he get here? Did he defect from Sigismund?
Not at all. He did something back home, had the gallows waiting for him, so he fled to Moravia. He was having the time of his life until recently. Wine, women, and song. But now he has problems because people take him for a human. But if you knew how he can cook, give him a dead rat and half a carrot, and he will cook you a 3-course dinner.
How can I recognize this Janos?
Like I said, he looks a bit like a human. He speaks almost like we do, but in a queer way. Where you talk to him, you will definitely notice it.
I'm already liking this Janos. I think we'll get along well.
Janos, why?
I like good food too. Life is always better with a full stomach.
You two will surely get along then. Janos has seen a lot of the world, tasted everything. If you let him, he will talk about it all day long.
You said
That's...
Thanks. I'll go and look for them.
They may sound like a bunch of morons as I tell it, but they will be damn useful to us. Good luck!
Your hand cannons have done us more harm than good.
But we shot that mare beautifully. The devil himself couldn't have aimed any better, and he's skilled with hand cannons.
How long have you been a warrior?
I was supposed to be a carpenter, but the job wasn't for me. Most of the time I couldn't even hit the chisel with my mallet. Then I lost my master's money playing dice, so I had to run away. Then I came across a group of mercenaries, and they hired me. Once I got a taste of money, I chose to stay. So, it's been a while now.
Who taught you how to fight?
No one. I was absolutely awful. But I could drink their command under the table, so they let me stay with them. I learned the rest as I went along.
That commander, was it the devil?
No. I only met the devil later, with another band. I've been through several. Once they stop paying, or you run out of things to steal, it's best to go and try your luck elsewhere.
That's exactly what happened when they captured the devil, isn't it? The band broke up.
More or less, but I think he understands. You see? That's mercenary honor.
What honor?
Exactly. There is none.
Why were you the only one of your band who tried to save the devil?
I don't think I could sleep easy if they actually executed that old bastard. Fuck, I know the devil better than I know my own old man. And he still owes me groschen from our last trade. And I take that seriously.
How do you know Zizka?
I think I know him from the ambush near Prague.
Who did you ambush?
His men actually ambushed us. Actually, the outcome was quite similar. They jumped us at a bend. Before we knew it, blood was spilled. They killed our whole band. I was the only one to survive.
Just you? How so?
I was so fucked up that as I cocked my crossbow, the bowstring broke off and slashed my hands.
And you still have both of them?
Saint Bibiana must have been watching over me. My gloves came off, revealing bloody gashes on my palms, like Christ himself. I reckon they had fun watching me jump around, curse and flail my arms. So they kept me. I kept that bloody bowstring for luck.
How did you meet Dry Devil?
For the first time? Not in the best of circumstances, that's for sure. A few years ago, my company was attacked near Olomouc, and he spared nobody except for my noble master.
Wait, what was that about?
We were fighting for Margrave Jobst, and he for his brother Prokop.
Why did he let you live?
Because I shot and killed 2 of his men, and crippled 3 others, before he bashed me over the head.
And he just let you go?
Not a chance. I woke tied up with a splitting headache. Tri-Devil was all fired up, betting with his men that they'd boost me up.
And what was the catch?
That fucker took me to the ramparts and said that if I piss and hit the ale pitcher down below, he'd let me go. Otherwise, he'd try to hit the ale pitcher with me. The prick.
Wow. You're quite the sharpshooter, Kubyanka.
You bet I fucking am. But you don't know shit about it.
Teach me something, then. I'll happily pay for it.
It'll take some time. But for a few groschen, I'll teach you whatever you want.
Matthew won't be coming back. He took a liking to the bandit life around the trade routes.
Ungrateful bastard. When I first met him, he had a rusty axe and holes in his boots.
He said he didn't want to die for a king he didn't even know.
Nobody asked him to. All he has to do is fight. Others can do the dying.
Why do they call you the Dry Devil, anyway?
Why do they call you fuckhead?
But they don't call...
All right. I was only joking. I don't even know how I got the nickname. Suppose it could have something to do with all the killing and my natural beauty. It's certainly catchier than His Grace Sir Hinnek the First of Kunststadt and Yashpitz. That name wouldn't scare a fucking coward. But say it Dry Devil, and everybody just shits themselves.
How do you know Kubyanka?
He saved my arse back at Neuhaus. We only made it out thanks to him. I thought we were fucked. But then Kubyanka appeared, dragging a ladder, asking how much we would pay for it.
What did he get for it?
The first thing he got was a good fucking beating, because we thought he'd been dead for 2 days. But after we escaped, we made sure he didn't have to pay for drinks for a long time.
How long have you known Zizka?
It's been a while. He served with me during the Moravian-Margrave Wars.
So you were his commander, sir?
That's water under the bridge now. I'm just an old wanted robber baron whose neck you and Zizka just saved. I don't give a shit about the sirs anymore, you see.
Ah, all right then. What can you tell me about Zizka?
Well, based on what you two have been through, I'd say you should know him pretty well by now. When everything is fucked, people around you are dying and you're fighting for your very life, only then can you really learn what a person is like.
I'd like to learn a new combat technique.
Well, why not? And since it's you, I'll show it to you twice so you'll understand it. I've seen you fight, and you could be a bit more direct, my friend. Just forget about what it looks like, you get me? I'll show you how to take out your opponent without slitting him open from his neck to his arse. What do you say?
That sounds good. Teach me that.
Aye, I can see you like long swords too, eh? So listen, the trick is about speed and surprise. After stabbing with the sword, you immediately turn it around, and while sliding, you strike the sword's pommel forward. If you do it fast enough, the opponent won't have time to move, and you'll hit him right between the eyes. And now, come and try it a few times. Good, eh? Let it sit for a while and you'll get it in your blood. You'll see.
I'd like to learn a new...
Certainly. I'm just about bored to death, so at least this'll make the time pass faster. If you're a good lad, I'll show you one of my best tricks with a sword. Or how to quickly send the bastard who's against you to the devil! But it can only be done with a sword. And what's more, you can't have a shield in your other hand.
That sounds good. Teach me that.
Of course. I knew immediately that would lure you in. The main thing is to attack from above, to quickly catch the opponent's wrist and push the edge of your own sword over his blade, so it's under his neck. If you do it right, I reckon I don't have to tell you what comes next, do I? And now, come and try it a few times. Good. You could be bloody damn good, if you don't get killed first.
Why did they want to hang you?
I reckon my face bothered them. More likely they're pissed off I'm not a hypocritical fucker like they are.
And that's a reason for execution?
Unlike the hypocrites in the League of Lords, I'm not ashamed of what I am.
I know they call you Dry Devil.
Aye. You call me a lot of things, laddie. And that's what rankles the Lords, that I'm getting rich at their expense. And that's some fucking fat loot they stole from the king.
So you're on the king's side?
I'm on the side of whoever pays me, lad. And I'll tell you one thing. I've never gone back on my word. My noble word is my oath. Unlike that of bastards like von Bergau or von Rosenborg.
Have you been at war?
Aye, I fought in Moravia, and I'm still the hetman of the royal city of Znaim. You're just a yokel, so you hardly know what's been going on in the kingdom these last few years.
You're an experienced warrior, so teach me something.
Not a damn thing, lad. Not unless you pay me well. But first, bring me some good wine.
All right. Here you go.
Ready. What is it you want, then?
You can ride a horse as well as a hay wagon, I expect.
You snot-nosed brat! You're the one that shakes like a whore in the saddle. All right, then. I'll show you a few devilish tricks.
I'd like to learn...
Where's that wine? Or should I write it down in your diary so you'll remember it?
Again?
Always!
All right. Here you go.
Ready. What is it you want, then?
I need to get better at defending myself with a polearm.
That weapon's not worth shite! Well, except in a few cases when it's saved my skin. All right, then. I'll show you a few devilish tricks.
I'd like to learn from a master.
You got that wine for me?
All right.
Good lad.
I need to improve my sword-biting skills.
Then sword fight, damn it! That the main thing is not to soil your braze, no matter who you're up against. All right, then. I'll show you.
I'd like to learn...
You got that wine?
All right.
Good lad.
I want to see what you can do with a mace.
Ha ha! Good choice. It's better than a sword when you're up close. All right, then. I'll show...
Well, this doesn't seem too bad. God bless you, sir.
What will you do now?
We'll give it some thought and see. Hopefully we'll know better when you come back from Liechtenstein.
Who is this Kubyanka, anyway? How long have you known each other?
We were defending a castle and hiding in the woods together. He was always closer with the devil.
Can he be trusted?
Aye. When he's sober, that is. When he gets drunk, it's better to keep an eye on him. He's known to provoke until fists start flying. Did you see what happened when we first arrived?
You mean how they wanted to cut his throat for cheating at dice?
Aye. It's best not to play with him. You'd be better off tossing your coins straight into a pile of shit.
What should I know about the devil?
Just look at him, and you'll know everything. His face reveals it all.
I heard he's a nobleman, but he doesn't look like it.
He's the captain of Znojmo, but it's true that he doesn't care much for noble manners. He has a foul mouth, and he's anything but chivalrous in a fight.
I suppose he's not a pure, kind soul like you, eh?
Certainly not. He's as twisted as a hangman's noose. He can also be bitter and angry as a rabid dog. It's certainly better not to fuck around with him.
What draws you to him, then?
We're both different. That's our strength. I'm in charge when everything goes according to plan. When things go to shit, he takes over. It often turns bloody, but sometimes victory is more important than honor.
Aren't you worried about Catherine?
Do you think I should be?
I don't know. A lone woman in a big city needs to be careful in any case, but when you're stalking Liechtenstein, that can be really dangerous.
No one forced Catherine. She knows what she's doing, and she can take care of herself. Remember how she dealt with the guards at Trotsky? She's braver and more dangerous than half my old band.
Aye, but what if someone tries to...
Catherine sharpens her dagger every day. It's always razor sharp. Whoever tries will regret it sorely.
Go! Go! Quick! Whoa.
Hans double-crossed me.
How do you know?
I found out by chance. It wasn't just me that fell for that tale of selling wares for a tidy profit in Germany. He'd take people to taverns, get all friendly with them, then take all their goods and vanish.
How many people are we talking about?
I know of at least 3. But it wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't a lot more of us.
It happens all the time. Well, you should report him. They'll catch him and give him what for.
It's already been done. He got caught with stolen goods somewhere. Then one thing led to another, and they found out he was involved in all sorts of dodgy business.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
I suppose so. But it made me realize how hard it is to trust anyone these days.
Not everybody's out to get you.
I hope you're not, at least. Sorry I mistook you for him. But you do look a lot alike.
So, chances are you won't be seeing your money from Hans again, will you?
Oh, see, that reminds me. I need to pay you back for what you gave me last time. Hans may have been a crook, but I pay my debts.
Thanks. That'll come in handy. I'd like to purchase something.
Take your pick.
Fuck me.
What happened here? The cottage has been plundered. And what about the dead dogs? The local catchpole's most likely to know, if there's one left here.
Greetings, sir.
What happened at the cottage by the bridge over the stream? It was plundered, and there are dead dogs lying in front of it. And nobody bats an eyelid.
Oh, you mean the gamekeeper's cottage? You know how it is. People don't want to end up like the gamekeeper.
What happened to him?
He's hanging from a tree on the road to Miskovitz. The king's men dragged him out of his cottage one day and hanged him. He'd rebelled against the king, they said.
What does that mean?
How should I know? Let it lie, unless you want to end up like him.
Greetings, sir.
I heard you hold fights here, and I'd like to know more.
What would you like to know?
What fighters do you have here?
Stanley is the strongest. He works on the farm and's quite a big mouth on him, but he has the strength of two men. After him, Tuma, a farmer from across the way. He's quite a bit older than me, but don't let that fool you. He has a steady hand and bloody good aim with it. And last and maybe least is Darling.
Darling?
He's kind of like the local buffoon. His name's Tobias, but everyone just calls him Darling. When he was a wee lad, he fell on his head from a rotting ladder, and he's never been the same since. He takes care of his aunt's horses and dogs in Grunt.
He doesn't sound like an opponent to be feared.
Because he isn't. He's quite a lout, but he doesn't know the first thing about fighting. He hasn't won a single fight. But it's not that he doesn't try.
Where do your fights take place?
At old Chucha's.
And who might that be?
Chucho is our hog. We fight in his pen. He doesn't care. He always just hides in his pigsty.
I reckon I can find that.
I'm certain you can. Just follow your nose.
Can I get involved too?
Why not? It'll be good to have some new blood, and maybe you'll learn something from each other. Do you have any experience?
Well, I haven't won any tournaments here yet, but I've knocked a few people around.
Well, you'll see if that'll be enough.
And if I manage to beat them all?
Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Darling may be a bumbler, but Stanley and Tuma are no pushovers. Well, if you pull it off, you certainly won't come up short. Farewell, good sir.
Oh, he's coming back.
So, Tobias, do you enjoy fighting?
Do I know you?
I'm Henry. Young Bruthans told me you're learning to fight. How are you faring?
Well, it's not going so well.
You don't have to do it, you know. What do you get out of being beaten time and again?
I have to. I have to beat Stanley, so they'll leave me alone.
What does he do to you?
All kinds of things. He says I'm an idiot. Sometimes he comes to Grund and causes trouble, scaring the horses, and he beat up my dog. Better limp for days, and now he's afraid of strangers.
Well, you can defend yourself, but how can a pooch know he has to? Did he bite him at least?
Better? No, he's too nice to ever bite anyone. He runs away instead. But Stanley drove him into the corner of the stable.
People like that make me see red. Well, how about trying your luck against me?
Why not? Do you have any money? We can bet, and whoever wins gets everything.
That sounds good. I agree.
Get ready, then.
Useless!
Well, I lost again.
Thanks for the fight.
Yeah. Oh, and this is yours. Take it all. Now you can challenge Tuma. I like him. He's funny and kind. Not like Stanley.
Here I am.
You look like a merry bloke. What do you like about the fights?
I'm a simple man. I like a good laugh, and sometimes I like to punch someone.
That's it.
I swear, I do it because I enjoy it. That's not so strange, is it?
Shall we fight?
But of course. And before we get started, let's bet.
If you say so. Here you go.
Thanks very much. And now fight. Now that's right.
You fight like an old hag!
Here, bastard! Who could play Gosh, I feel like I've been split in half.
Thanks for the fight.
Aye, you're welcome. I should be thanking the big man on the sky that I can still walk. Here, take it all and don't spend it at once.
Thanks.
Well, do you feel up to it?
Why are you always picking on Tobias?
Just take a look at him. If he was any dumber, he'd be eating out of a trough with the pigs. Do you know he talks to animals? He talks to his mutts like they understand him. He'd be better off barking and pissing on the fence like them. But when we manage to get him drunk, now that's fun.
Tobias goes drinking with you?
No, but all you have to do is give him wine and tell him it's apple cider. A little of that and he's completely wasted. Then you should see the shit he gets up to. The last time that idiot almost drowned. Because he went to fish the moon out of the pond. We told him it was a silver platter.
Find something better to do, and leave Tobias alone.
Mind your own business. I reckon that moron doesn't even know when someone's yanking his pizzle. Lord knows if there's anything left in that hollow of his.
Do you want to fight?
Sure, I could go for one. Do you have money to bet?
Of course.
I'm glad to hear it. Get ready and we can get started. Watch it! Watch it!
Pull yourself.
He wants to knock you on your ass. I'll piss in your face. You're boring me. Try a little. Watch and learn. Who wants to knock you on your ass? I'll piss in your face. Do you have two? Fucking hell! Oh, blue bloody who? What's the matter? Sacre! I reckon I cut off more than I could chew. You really know how to fight.
Thanks for the fight.
Here's your bet, and a little on top. I don't like giving it up, but I keep my word. And don't forget to go and see Tomlin. His jaw's gonna drop when he hears some out of town and kicked all our asses.
At your service, sir.
I beat all your men.
Well, I'm jiggered. But I'm impressed. You're good. Here you go. We know how to appreciate a good fighter here. Not long ago, I heard the hired hands in Miskovitz spend the long hours away by fighting. You can go see for yourself if it's true.
That sounds quite good.
And in Kuttenberg, they fight in a tavern called the Hole in the Wall. The name suits it perfectly. So don't expect to be treated kindly.
That sounds worse. But I'll see. Maybe I'll go there and take a look sometime.
Oh, by the way, Darling was looking for you. Go and see him. He'll be glad. It was good to see you, my friend.
Do you need something of me?
Well, I wanted to ask you for something.
Pray tell. What's it about?
You wouldn't want to have another bout, would you?
Right now?
Well, yeah.
Why? I already beat you. And Tuma and Stanley, too.
Exactly. So I figured that if I beat you now, you'll still win overall. But if Stanley saw me beat someone that kicked his ass, maybe he'd leave me alone.
And do you think you'd stand a chance to beat me?
Well, that's just it. I'd need you to help me a little.
Look, wouldn't you rather learn how to fight properly? I'll be happy to train you.
I don't know if it's a good idea. Auntie says I'm a little slow.
Oh, you'll manage. Knocking someone's teeth out is actually pretty simple. And you've got the strength of 3 men. So there's nothing for you to be afraid of.
Well, all right. Oof, I can't anymore.
Me neither. Let's take a break.
Do you think I stand a chance against Stanley now?
Definitely a better chance than if you pretended to beat me, but still knew nothing. I'm not saying you'll beat him to a pulp now, but at least you should be able to hit back.
Thanks, Emery. You're a true friend.
You're welcome.
Hey, do you like horses or dogs?
Of course I do.
Me too. I knew right away you like animals. I can tell. Come see me in Grun sometime. I take care of the horses and hands, and I'll tell you all about them.
You said you...
Well, I don't know.
You take care of dogs and horses here, right?
Aye, they're my favourite. And when you're sad, they look at you with those big eyes of theirs. They don't even need to say anything. Yet you feel better right away.
You see? I'm sure you know a few tricks.
Sorry,
What are you doing here?
What does it look like? Resting. I've been lugging these sacks for ages now, so I decided to take a load off. But I can tell you, it ain't too comfortable here.
I was afraid you were dead. Whenever I see someone lying by the road, it usually ends up being trouble.
Don't worry, I'm fine. You never just lay down under a tree.
I prefer sleeping with a roof over my head. It's safer that way. I heard there's thieves who will even steal the shoes right off your feet while you're asleep.
They must have some pretty nimble hands, I'll give them that. But I'm a light sleeper. Ain't nobody stealing my old boots.
Look, you know you have something sticking out of your forehead, right? It looks a bit like a horn.
A horn? Nobody's called it that yet.
What is it, then?
It's an arrow. Well, what's left of it, that is. A metal arrowhead and a bit of a wooden shaft. It used to be longer, but I broke it off after I nearly took a wench's eye out with it.
Ah. Now, I heard of a bloke who took an arrow to the knee.
Ha! To the knee? That's nothing. You could go dancing the next day with a scratch like that. But have you ever heard of anyone who took one to the head and lived to tell the tale?
I can't say I have.
Well, you have now. If it was an ordinary arrow, I'd be pushing up daisies. But it ain't the slightest bit ordinary.
And what's so extraordinary about it?
One thing that's extraordinary is we hardly know each other, yet you keep asking questions. How about you tell me who you are first? Talking to strangers ain't the safest these days.
I'm Henry, the son of a blacksmith from Skalitz.
Oh, fuck. I heard about Skalitz. I heard it was real bad.
That it was.
Well, at least you got out in one piece. Look, the name's Carl. Folk call me Carl Arrowhead. On account of, well, you know.
How come the arrow didn't kill you then?
Because it ain't no ordinary arrow.
You said that already.
Thing is, it's a magic arrow.
Yeah, right.
You don't believe me, do you? Sometimes I get mixed up in, let's say, some confrontation. And sometimes things get a bit dicey. I was always getting beaten up, wounded, battered. But ever since I had this arrow in my noggin, not a damn thing. No wounds, no bruises. Nobody can hurt me. They haven't a chance.
Well, that could very well be a coincidence. You're just lucky.
It ain't no coincidence. It's a gift from God. This arrow here blessed me.
Doesn't it hurt? Looks like a nasty wound.
Look, when God blesses you, you accept it for what it is.
So does it hurt?
Hurts like hell. And it fucked my eyesight up a bit. But that don't matter. It's still a gift from God.
Do you think it could be taken out? Can I touch it?
If you touch it, I'll rip off both your arms, shove them up your arse, and make you clap.
Easy! Easy now! I was just asking. No need to get upset. You're worried I'd get the magic too, eh?
No, I'm worried that you wouldn't march in step, and I wouldn't like that.
Why do you think God chose you to be blessed? What did you do to deserve it?
Well, I suppose all them good things what I did in my life. I take care of my people. I'm a good person is all. I reckon God's pleased with me.
I understand. You're simply undefeatable.
Exactly, lad. A whole year without a scratch. A whole year. And me and my lads got ourselves into some dodgy situations, I'll tell you that. But enough chat. I've got to get back to the camp. I've got a proposition for you. You lug one of them sacks here for me, and we can talk some more along the way. What do you say?
What's in these sacks, anyway?
Just stuff what folk leave lying around unattended. These days, everyone locks up their cottages, sties, coops, and who knows what else. They keep their valuables in their chests. Folk are plenty nervous. And then, they go and leave a couple of sacks of charcoal lying around outside. And when you see something lying around, it'd be a sin to let it get rained on, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Wet charcoal doesn't burn very well. Good thing you took it. And what are you going to do with this charcoal?
What do you mean? It's charcoal. It always comes in handy. So, will you help me?
And what's in it for me? Will I get a reward?
You youngsters is all the same. You should help your neighbour without wanting nothing in return. Like a proper Christian, eh?
True. But good deeds won't buy me an ale at the tavern.
All right, then. If you help him with the sack, I'll throw a few groschen for beer your way.
Well, can't let you lug them all on your own.
Glad to hear it. Them sacks are heavy as fuck, but I couldn't just leave them behind. A man can be invincible, and blessed by God, but 2 sacks of charcoal is still 2 sacks of charcoal.
You're probably not a monk, are you? What are you, then? A bandit?
Ha! A bandit? It don't sound too good when you say it out loud. Bandit. Do you know who the real bandits are, in my opinion?
I don't.
Them lords what hold their protective hand over us. They stuff themselves to bursting, hunt in the forests, start wars, and the ordinary folk has to do all the work for them. And when you get in their way, they string you up or beat you like a dog. Not even the worst bandit behaves like that. That's what people should be whipped for in the stocks, not for hunting a deer in some noble's forest, or picking something up here and there. We're just trying to survive is all.
You said we. Are there more of you somewhere?
Of course there is. And with what's been going on, there's more and more of us. Towns get raided all the time, and folk have nowhere to go. So they head into the forests and become bandits, as you call them.
Well, I meant nothing by it.
Right. I used to live an ordinary life myself, before it all got to me. First, my wife got a fever, so I paid the sobos to help her, and nothing. He took the money, but it didn't help, so my dearest died. Then the soldiers came. I don't know if they were ours or someone else's, but they took everything. And whatever they didn't take, they torched. I had nothing left, so now we live in the forest. Like animals. We don't have no other option.
Look, if it makes you feel any better, I've lost a lot too.
Of course, we all have. Some more than others. But we've all lost something.
This sack really is heavy. How much further is it?
We're getting close. Hang in there.
perchance. Aye, it had some kind of funny name.
Told me
Why,
he
you know
saw
the
dancing bear at the fairy.
That's not a bad idea. But Borrow is already setting up a job near Crumet.
I dropped that sack over there, but look here. Don't you mind just leading me right into your camp? What if I let slip that you lot are here?
Why would you do that? You wouldn't get any reward for this band of nobodies anyway.
I suppose not.
Thanks for the help, lad. I'm glad you happened by and stopped to talk to me. Not everyone is willing to help. It's a rare sight these days.
I'm glad to be of help.
Here's some ale money. And I wish you good luck in these wild times. May God's favor be with you. But now, you should get going. The fellas get nervous when there's strangers around. The Lord be with you.
Go! Ka! Ka!
Oh,
I bought a lovely yew bow the other day for a great price.
What good's a bow to you, for God's sake? What a waste of money.
Didn't you hear that the king... Greetings. What do you need?
Greetings, blacksmith. How's it going?
What can I say? It's all shit. I'm getting old, and my hammer feels heavier with every passing day. But my apprentice Matthias, on the other hand, that lad could outdo many a fancy weaponsmith. Just look at this dagger he made me. Have you ever seen such fine work?
Pretty good work. For a village blacksmith. I expected worse.
Village blacksmith? What are you yammering about, you horse face? You've never seen anything so fine in your entire life.
Oh, calm down. I'm telling you, I've been forging daggers like this with my father since I was a young lad.
Know what, you master of masters? I bet my apprentice is a better blacksmith than you. What do you say?
How would a bet like that work?
You'll give me a few groschen as a deposit and forge a hunting sword. Matthias is just working on one now. And if you forge a better one, you'll get both swords, and I'll give you back twice as many groschen.
And of course, you'll be the judge, right?
Well, of course. But I'll decide fairly, don't you worry.
And what if my sword isn't better?
Then you lose and I keep the groschen. What else? Am I supposed to stick them up my arse? Do you take the bet or not?
I accept. I'll knock you down a peg and make some money while I'm at it.
You haven't won yet, Master Blacksmith.
you fool.
Oh, kurwa. I'm burning it. And that's that.
What do you need, sir?
I brought you the hunting sword.
Aye, I saw you work. You shouldn't hunch over the anvil so much. Your back will ache when you're as old as I am.
Right. Thanks for the advice. Can we get on with our bet?
All right, all right. Wait here. I'll go and fetch Matthias, and we'll see which one of you is the better blacksmith. Well then, let's see what you made.
Feast your eyes.
What about you, Matthias?
Here it is, master.
Let's see here. That's impossible. Such balance. I'm sorry, Matthias, but his sword is better.
What?
Listen, lad. You're wasting your talent here. If you're ever in Kuttenberg, ask for Nicholas Crondell. He's the best armorsmith in the region. He might take you on as his apprentice.
Thanks for the advice. But where's my prize?
Here's your money.
Thank you kindly, master. And you, give me the sword.
What? Forget it. That blade of yours will fall apart any moment anyway. It may look nice, but if we're fighting with them, I'd slice you to ribbons.
Take a good look at me, you yokel. You really want to fight me?
I'm looking at you, all right. But all I see is a loudmouth chicken shit. So, are you going to fight or shit yourself?
Very well. If you want to get your ass kicked on top of all that, I'll be happy to oblige.
Don't get too cocky now. We'll see who'll be picking their teeth up off the ground.
Break a leg, Matthias.
You're mine! Pray for a quick death, you bastard!
Did you do that?
I'll sort you out nicely. Didn't see that coming, eh? Useless!
There's no escape!
Why'd you do it?
Mercy! Spare me!
We're done here.
Did you really have to come and rub it in my face like that? I know I lost.
You may know it, but you haven't paid. I believe you were supposed to give me your sword.
Here, choke on it.
Nothing special. Maybe I'll get a few groschen for it.
I hope someone stabs you with it.
What would you like, sir?
How's it going here in Grund? Anything new?
Kona, the blacksmith's wife, came by my place for a chat the other day. She's always having trouble with her little ones, and it's making her miserable. She told me about it a while back, and now she's brought it up again. And she mentioned she was looking for some muscle from out of town. It surprised me. That's why I remember it. You're an outsider, and you look like you can handle yourself. Perhaps you can drop by. She'll be glad, and so will I. I don't know what else there is to tell.
That sounds interesting. Thank you.
It's almost ready.
I was taking care of some business with Hannah at the stud farm when I heard you needed someone with a stout heart and a strong arm.
Well, that's true, yes. Have you come to help me?
I can't say yes until I know what's going on. Tell me, and I'll see if there's anything I can do to help.
All right. Thank you. So listen, there's a powerful protective charm I desperately need. A Thunderstone. It's a great rarity. But Tomlin Bruthans from Horshan has one. He just won't let me have it. The thing is, he sometimes wages it in fights.
I think I understand now. But what about your husband? Couldn't he take care of it?
He tried, of course. As soon as I heard Tomlin had one, I sent Demir over there right away. But the poor wretch came back black and blue.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you want me to fight Tomlin and win the stone for you?
Well, yeah. And I know I'm asking a lot, but I'm really desperate. And I have no one else to turn to. I prayed fervently to the Virgin Mary and implored her for help. And now you've shown up. Besides, by the looks of you, you have the strength of a bull, perhaps two. So she surely sent you to help me.
What is a Thunderstone?
Well, they're formed when there's a violent storm with forks of lightning and peals of thunder. The biggest of these are Thunderstones. They fall from the sky with a mighty boom and burrow deep into the earth. After a while, they work their way back up to the surface. And if you're lucky, that's where you'll find them.
What can these stones do?
Well, lots of things. If you have one, it protects you from all harm, helps you in battle, and brings good luck. It also wards off and cures diseases. And if you put it into the rafters of your cottage, you'll be protected from fire and all manner of other calamities.
What does the Thunderstone look like?
Well, from what I saw of Tomlin's, it's the size of a grown man's fist, perhaps a tad bigger, sort of elongated and curiously shaped. It's flat on one side and has a round hole through the middle.
Why are you so desperate for this piece of rock?
That's my business.
Look, if I'm to help you, I need to know what you're going to do with this stone. I don't want to get caught up in any witchcraft.
This is no witchcraft. It's just... Fine. Listen, I'm afraid for my child. And myself. All my babies died shortly after birth. Bless their souls. And birthing is very hard for me. I nearly died last time. The stone has the power to help me and protect my next infant. That's why I want it.
All right. I'll help with your trouble.
Mary, Mother of Mercy, thanks be to the both of you. This means so much to me.
Save your thanks for when I bring it to you.
I shall. Don't you worry about that. We've got some groschen put by, so you'll be handsomely rewarded. I'm also on good terms with Hannah, so I could put a word in for you at the stud farm. She'll give a generous discount if you want to buy a horse from her. And I'll pray and intercede for you, I swear.
All right. You have yourself a deal. I'll go to Horshan and take on that Tomlin fellow.
God bless you. The Broadhands have a big farm. There's a wayside shrine in front of the gate and an orchard out the back. That's where you should find him. But be careful and don't underestimate him. The stone has great power and it won't be easy. Take care now.
Heel! Here, Mutt! Hey, Tomlin. People around here tell me you have a Thunderstone.
People say all sorts of things.
They also say if I beat you in a fight, it's mine.
Those days are over. There was a time I'd put it up for grabs in fights with cocky fools. That much is true. I even had a couple of craftsmen come from the burg to try their luck. But everyone got a thrashing. Well, then I decided to retire. It didn't seem right, and my conscience was getting the better of me. Well, as for you, you've cut the locals down to size. Impressive work. So there's nothing here for you now. But if those fists of yours are still itching, you could try your luck over in Miskovitz. Blood runs hot in those lads, and if you're as stupid as you are brave, there's a shit pit in the burg they call the Hole. They're hard as nails there. Fucked up if you ask me, but each to his own.
Look, that's all very well, but it's you I'm here to fight. For the Thunderstone.
Fuck's sake. You're a bleeding half-wit, aren't ya? Let's try again. I'm not fighting for the stone anymore. I found it. It's mine. I'm keeping it.
But Kona from Grund really needs the stone.
Yeah, I know. She came by. And I told her, as I've told everyone else, that I found the stone, so by rights, it's mine. Not just anyone can find a stone like that. Only a person it's destined for. It wouldn't be right to give it to someone else. That would be tempting fate, and nothing good would come of it.
I want to see the stone first.
You what? Don't you believe me? Everyone here knows I have it.
Well, exactly. Everybody knows you have it, so why not show it to me? Besides, I've never seen a magic Thunderstone, and here's my chance. I may never have another.
All right. Have it your way, then. Here it is. Almost as smooth as glass, and pointed at the end. It fits into your hand just right.
Look, this stone is nothing like Kona described. It doesn't even have a hole in the middle.
What are you talking about?
A Thunderstone should have a hole from the lightning strike. It's not a Thunderstone if there's no hole in it.
Oh, you're a scholar, are ya?
Well, I learned enough to spot when someone tries to hoodwink me with a rock they picked up in a creek.
I didn't mean to deceive you.
Stop fucking me around. I need to find the Thunderstone. Do you have it or not?
I don't have it now. I really did find a Thunderstone. And I had it right up until the other day when it was stolen. I didn't want word to get out because I'd look like a right fool. So I acted like nothing happened. I'm sorry for leading you on. I didn't mean any harm.
You're forgiven. I might have done the same in your place. And do you have any idea who might have stolen it from you?
If you ask me, it was that Hansel from Rabosh and his little mate Peter. They were ever so curious about it right before it disappeared.
And you didn't do anything about it?
Of course I fucking did. I went to wring their necks, but they disappeared like the steam from my piss. They must have seen me and bolted, which only confirmed my suspicions. I haven't had any luck finding them since then, though, and I don't have time to chase them around the countryside. I have the farm to take care of.
All right. I'll have a look for them.
Well, when you get to Rabosh, take the main road away from the fortress until you reach the first farm on the right. They're hired hands there. That much I found out. If you find the stone, please bring it back to me. I'll make sure you're well rewarded. You have my word. I was the one who found it, so by rights, it's mine. It was destined for me. To mess with fate would only bring bad luck and misfortune.
Tell me, how did you come by the stone in the first place?
That's a secret.
If you came by it honestly, why be so secretive about it?
I'm not hiding anything. I'm just not one to brag, that's all. And until it's back in my hands, I don't want to talk about it.
I can appreciate that, but sharing a story isn't exactly bragging.
All right, then. I found it a couple of years back in a field outside Billany. On the way to Wizard the Quarry. You probably know the place. I was going to take a shortcut through the woods, but there'd been a hell of a storm about a week before. It tore off roofs, carried away some shepherds' huts, even toppled the tower on those fortifications at Kuttenberg. And it very nearly flushed us out of here too. A proper act of God it was. Well, the forest was a complete mess, so I couldn't go that way. So I decided I'd go through the field. And all of a sudden, I stumble over something. And what do I see? A Thunderstone right under my foot. Stroke of luck it was.
Welcome, sir. What can I do for you?
I need to find a Thunderstone, and I heard you might know of one.
Oh, yeah? Who told you that, then?
Some wayfarer in a tavern.
Really? Which one?
In Suchtol.
Shit, so Andrew's already mouthing off.
Not Andrew. Tomlin over Horsham way told me you pinched his Thunderstone. You and some Hensel fellow. So you better come clean before I let Tomlin beat the truth out of you.
Fuck me! So Bruthan's made you his lackey? As if that stone hasn't caused enough trouble already.
Yes, I'm a lackey, as you say, and I'm not ashamed of it.
All right. I'm a stable boy myself, so basically a lackey too.
So, from one lackey to another, tell me, where's the stone?
We fucked up. And all because of that stupid stone. I wish we'd never taken it.
So Tomlin was right. It was you. Where's the stone now?
I haven't the faintest. It was all Hensel's idea and he had it on him the whole time. And before you ask, no, Hensel's not here. Andrew is holding him captive.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm missing something here, and it's not just the stone. So tell me, what the fuck happened?
We wanted to butcher Andrew Ramhead's band of pillagers, but that's easier said than done. So Hensel got the idea that we could borrow Tomlin Bruthan's magic stone from him to help us fight them like, but Tomlin wasn't having it, so we filched it without him knowing, and then set off after those bandits. But everything went to shit. They caught Hensel and almost killed me and Stislav. So, you come a bit late for that fucking stone. Not that it brought us any luck anyway. If I were you, I'd give it up as a lost cause.
What about the Lord in these parts? I mean, there's a fortress here, so he must have plenty of men-at-arms.
Well, the Lord has decreed that no action is to be taken. He says it's better to put up with these fuckers than to flush them out, because that might raise King Sigismund's hackles and he'd only dispatch more troops. That's what I heard anyway.
Who is this Andrew Ramhead?
A mercenary commander from King Sigismund's army. He's been ordered to guard the roads with his men. Or so he says. But apart from that, they also carry out raids, rob the people, mug merchants and steal cattle. And they make the peasants pay tribute. And of course, after our fuck-up, they've turned the screws and are demanding even more. Another reason for everyone round here to hate me.
How did your assault go?
Hensel led the way. There was him, me, and Stislav. We wore padded doublets and took hunting knives and axes. Stislav had a bow too. We got within earshot when it all went to shit. Stislav stumbled and yelped. Then they noticed us. After that, everything happened so fast. We charged at them, Hensel up front with us behind. Arrows started raining down. They all missed Hensel, but I was shot in the arm. It hurt like hell. I was screaming and scared shitless. So I took to my heels. I met back here with Stislav. They chased him, but he being so lightly dressed and them in armour, they couldn't keep up.
How many of them were there?
I'd say 5, 6.
You went up against 6 of them?
Of course not. We waited for some of them to go on patrol. That left just 3, though heavily armoured they were. If we'd caught them by surprise, it might have worked.
Why did you want to kill them?
Why? To stop them doing mischief round here. We wanted to help the village. We could hide in fear and moan, or do something about it. And we also wanted to make a bit of a name for ourselves among the locals.
It was brave of you. You wanted to do the right thing. I would have done the same.
Not that it did any good, but thanks. All the folk here now take me for a fool. You're the only one to see it differently.
Where's Stislav, anyway?
I don't know. He was a bundle of nerves after what happened. Packed up and left. I've no idea where he went, and I don't blame him. I'm not exactly doing great myself. It really pissed Andrew off, and now he's even nastier to the villagers than before.
Where can I find this Andrew?
Are you fucking with me?
No. I'm sorry about what happened to you, but I badly need to find that stone. You don't just lose something like that. And from what you said, it seems I don't have much choice.
I'm telling you, that stone's cursed. Weren't you listening to me?
Can you hear yourself? You attacked a band of hardened mercenaries. Anyone else would have paid for that with their life, but not one of you was killed. Not to mention that this Hensel, the one with the stone, wasn't hit by a single arrow. But you were.
Sakura! I never thought of it that way. You know, you might be right.
You see? Now tell me where this camp of theirs is.
You'll come across some ponds between Raborj and Bohunjovic. Near one of them, there's a fork where wayfarers sometimes camp if they're stuck for a place to stay. From that fork, follow the water downstream, and you should find the ruins of an old mill.
And that's where they're holding Hensel? The one with the stone?
Yeah, there. But if I were you, I'd stay off the path. Take the hill and nip through the woods. You'll get to some rocks overlooking the mill. You'll have a bird's eye view of everything from there. That's the way we went too. But make sure they don't spot you. There's a good chance they've upped their guard after our attack.
Sound advice. Thanks.
Look, what's your plan anyway?
Well, I'm thinking if I can find Andrew, I'll find Hensel. And then I'll finally get to the bottom of this shit with the Thunderstone.
Just be careful, because Andrew's a cunning fucker. Look, since you're going there anyway, I know I'm not in a position to ask you for anything, but still, do you think you could rescue Hensel?
Why doesn't the local lord do it?
'Cause he doesn't give a shit, for Christ's sake. He cares nothing for the likes of us, understand? Hensel's just a stable boy who toils with his hands. No lord's going to do a deal with Andrew for him.
And how, pray, do you expect me to do that?
I don't know, just something. 'Cause if you don't, I don't know who will. Andrew's a greedy bastard. Some coin might do it. Or you could sneak in quietly and slip back out with Hensel.
How about I just kill them all?
I thought best not to suggest that. You know how we ended up. But, you know, whatever you think's best. It's just, they're pretty tough and well-armed, you know.
I'll manage somehow. But the whole thing's getting so messy, it's almost like the stone's power is interfering somehow. But if I find a way, I'll help Hensel.
Thank you so much! May all the saints be with you, and I hope you have better luck than we did.
Whoa, whoa.
Get out!
Stay.
Exactly. Rumor has it they paid out something, but it was only what they already owed. And it depends how well you get on with the commanders. The Prague lads are best off, they're getting paid. And that's made the Cumans angry as fuck. There's starting to be some infighting. And I think there's been some mysterious... I wouldn't be in too much of a hurry. We're lucky we can here and not with the army. They have shit to do.
Hey! By all the saints, don't leave me here! Please, untie me!
Relax. I'm getting there.
Thanks.
Hmm? Relax. I'm getting there.
Thanks. Christ almighty! You stormed in on them like you were the Archangel Michael himself. Thanks for getting me out of here.
all right?
Yeah. I am. All things considered. Thanks for rescuing me. You have no idea how grateful I am. God knows what they would have done to me in the end. All that aside, who are you, anyway?
Henry.
I'm Hensel, and I owe you big time, Henry. Though, in all honesty, I'm not sure why I was worth all that trouble. But grateful nonetheless.
Peter told me what happened.
Peter? Well, thank the saints for him. So he's safe and sound, is he?
In a manner of speaking. He got shot, but nothing serious.
What about Stislav?
From what I hear, Stislav made it out unscathed too. But what happened scared him so much he scarpered.
Sakra. At least he's alive. I was worried about them both. It's all my fault, you know. Oh, I dread to think what could have happened to him.
Listen, it wasn't exactly by chance that I ran into Peter either. I was looking for you in the village because of the Thunderstone you stole from Tomlin in Horsham, who, by the way, is royally fucking upset with you.
Well, I suppose I would be too if I were him. But I have to say, the whole Thunderstone idea was the stupidest I've ever had. It brought us no luck, no protection. Well, the opposite, in fact.
Let's forget that for a moment. What I really need to know is where the stone ended up.
You won't be surprised to hear. Ramed snatched it from me when I was captured. He didn't believe it had any powers, but he has a nose for money. That's all that matters to him. From what I heard, he sold it in Sukdal to some farmer's wife, I think he said, Mlada or something, well, from the edge of the village.
Sakra. That stone really is cursed. Well, there's nothing for it. I'm off to Sukdal.
Hold your horses. That wasn't the only thing I heard. There's this pond below Raborsh, right? And on the bank, across from the village, there's a small crag. Somewhere around there, they hid some of their spoils.
Well, they hid it all right, but not well enough.
What? You filched Andrew's stash? Well, good for you. Serves the bastard right. I was going to cast an eye there myself, but I see there's no need to bother now. Well, thanks again for everything, and God be with you wherever you may go.